out there and create some more leaders. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see some of you younger guys that'll be able to come up here as well and get this wonderful medal. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the Small College Basketball Podcast. Once again, Chris Cottrell with you today, celebrating the players, the programs, the coaches, and the history of small college basketball. It is our pleasure to be with you here during the holiday season. Happy New Year to everyone. It is Saturday morning. We're preparing for the college football playoff. We're preparing for the New Year festivities. But we've also got the podcast. We've got small college basketball in the middle of a tremendous season. Division II, Division III men's basketball, NAIA, NCCAA, and the USCAA. And so today is a quick review of what we've seen so far, where we stand, and what the landscape is in small college basketball. So in case you missed it, the tribute to small college basketball opened this past fall at Hy-Vee Arena in Kansas City. Tribute to small college basketball is one of the most important accomplishments of John McCarthy's vision for small college basketball. It is a physical structure that uses technology and pays tribute to preserve the history of the game of basketball at the small college basketball level, the small college level, like we talked about, Division II, Division III, the USCAA, the NCCAA, the NAIA, video, sound, light, touchscreen technology, all available at Hy-Vee Arena at the tribute to small college basketball. This pays tribute to the Hall of Fame inductees, the national award winners, national champions, and 1,000-win club coaches. It also includes a timeline and items that tell the story of small college basketball. Some of the greatest moments, some of the greatest highlights are included in video and audio and photography. It is open. It is free of charge. It is in Kansas City at Hy-Vee Arena. Check out the tribute to small college basketball. Also announced this past fall was the creation of a new national award, the Trevor Hudgens Award. National award presented annually to the senior who has had the finest overall four-year career inside of small college basketball. It includes their career stats, their achievements, the team achievements, any awards they've won, their personal character. But this player must have played their entire career at the small college level. It's the highest award that is now given to a four-year player inside of small college basketball. It's named for Trevor Hudgens. If you want to hear more from Trevor, if you want to hear more about the award, please check out episode 12 of the podcast. We had Trevor on for an interview about his experience at Northwest Missouri State, his experience with Coach Ben McCullum, the creation of the award. Just a really fun interview that gives some more insight into small college basketball. Speaking of interviews, we started the podcast this year by interviewing past national champions. So Jim Crutchfield, John Krikorian, Colby Blaine are all the first few episodes. We are planning to have National Christian College Athletic Association head coach Steve Draben from Bethel University to start the new year. We hope to have him on soon and discuss their national championship and how things are going at Bethel. They're off to a great start. We've had special stories like Chad and Chase Lance in episode 5. We celebrated a career milestone for Greg Tonigal in his 500th win at Indiana Wesleyan in episode 7. We celebrated the major accomplishment of Georgetown College and their 2000 NAIA men's basketball win, episode 11. My favorite episode so far is a recap of the Hall of Fame Classic with interviews, behind-the-scenes look at the event with players and coaches and John McCarthy. That's on YouTube. Check that one out because that one was a lot of fun, just taking the time to reflect and present the experience to the listeners. So the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame Classic is a tremendous event. We take you behind the scenes in that episode. Where do we stand on the basketball side of things? Well, let's hit all the levels. Division II, Nova Southeastern, reigning national champion, Jim Crutchfield. They hold the top spot in the NABC Coaches Poll as of December 19th, the most recent poll. They are 9-0. They're headed into Sunshine State Conference play later today and into January. Remaining undefeated NCAA Division II basketball teams include the number 2 team in the country, MSU Moorhead. They are 12-0. Minnesota State is 13-0. They are number 3 in the country. And that's going to be a big-time matchup Saturday, January 27th. These two Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference teams will square off. MSU Moorhead and Minnesota State squaring off on Saturday, January 27th. Number 8 team in the country out of South Carolina is Benedict College. They are in the SIAC. They are currently 10-0. Cal PA, number 10 in the country, currently 10-0. Gannon University, number 11th ranked team in the country in NCAA men's Division II basketball. They are 10-0. They are playing really well under first-year head coach Jordan Fee. They're on a collision course with Cal PA, the number 10, the number 11th ranked teams in the country from the Pennsylvania State Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. They're going to play next Saturday, January 6th. So Gannon and Cal PA in a big-time matchup next Saturday. If you want to check out more Division II coverage, go to NCAA.com. Check out the work by Wayne Cavati, who we've had on the podcast multiple times. Always a great interview. Always great background to NCAA Division II men's basketball. In NCAA Division III, we're 3 weeks into the polls. Men's basketball number 1 team in NCAA Division III is John Carroll. They're in the top spot. They are 8-1. They lost their first game of the season in a top 10 matchup to Hampden-Sydney. Calvin is the number 2 team in the country. They are 9-0. Calvin is one of 7 remaining undefeated teams at the Division III level. Oswego and Guilford, number 3 and number 4. Remaining undefeated teams at the Division III level include Case Western Reserve, who's 10-0. It includes Trinity and Connecticut. They are 11-0. Elmhurst is 11-0. And Trine is number 19. They suffered their first loss of the season to Elmhurst in a top 25 matchup before Christmas break. So Elmhurst and Trine, both playing very good basketball. Remaining undefeated, Pomona Pitzer at 9-0. Trinity University in Texas, 13-0. And Illinois College, 11-0. So as we're speaking, one of the premier events in small college basketball is underway. It started on Thursday. It includes 4 top 25 teams. It's taking place in Las Vegas. It's the D3Hoops.com Classic. And it's always a premier event run by Pat Coleman and his staff. We hope to have Pat on here in future episodes to talk about the event in Las Vegas and also talk about the landscape of Division III men's basketball. In the NAIA, the top 10 as of December 13th is led by Grace. They're 10-0. Langston is 9-0. They're number 2. Georgetown and Kentucky, 10-1. LSU Shreveport, 7-0. College of Idaho, 7-2. Southwestern in Kansas, they are number 6 in the nation. They are 11-0. Montana Tech, number 8, 7-1. Oklahoma Wesleyan, 10-1. Indiana Wesleyan is 8-2. They are the 9th ranked team in the country. And then Arizona Christian is 7-2. They round out the top 10. So the NAIA, their next poll will be released January 17th. A lot of long breaks for NAIA schools, NAIA coaches and players. So longer Christmas breaks. They're just starting back. And when we look at the NAIA, Gabe Newhoff out of Spring Arbor He's leading the NAIA in scoring through his 12 games. He's averaging just a shade over 27 points per game. Two of the top performers to keep an eye on this season, Vincent Miskiewicz out of Kaiser, averaging a double-double, 16 points per game, 16 rebounds per game. Luke Rankin out of Dort, averaging 11.5 points per game and 7 assists per game. He's got 110 assists, so 110 assists to only 38 turnovers. Luke Rankin, one of the best guards in the country at the NAIA level. In the NCCAA, in the most recent coaches poll from December 5th, the top 5 include Grace College, Bethel University, who we've already discussed at length today, Sagu at number 3, Geneva is number 4, and Campbellsville is number 5. Geneva is number 1 in the country in points per game on the defensive side of the ball. Grace, Bethel, and Sagu are all top 5 in the country in overall offense. If you look at Drew Lutz from Bethel University, he leads the country in scoring with almost 25 points per game. He's averaging 24.9 points per game. And finally, we turn our attention to the USCAA. Men's basketball rankings include number 1, Bryant and Stratton out of Syracuse, number 2, the Apprentice School, number 3, Bryant and Stratton out of Buffalo, and number 4, Manor College. Number 5 is Atlantis University. The power rankings, the number 1 team in the USCAA power rankings, Lion. Then we have Florida National University, and rounding out the power rankings in the top 3 is Bryant and Stratton out of Syracuse. Leading performers, top performers so far in the USCAA, Marcus Zappia from Bryant and Stratton in Rochester. He leads the country in scoring at the USCAA. Through 8 games, he's averaging just a shade over 25 points per game. And then we have Kalen Kimball out of Bryant Stratton in Buffalo. He's averaging 11 rebounds per game. So some names to keep an eye on out of the USCAA. Some teams to keep an eye on out of the USCAA. We are rounding out the holiday season. We're rounding out and wrapping up holiday breaks, which means we're heading into conference play. We're heading into league play. We've got a bunch of top 10, top 25 matchups coming up throughout NCAA Division II, throughout NCAA Division III. So keep track of those with d3hoops.com. NCAA Division II is on NCAA.com with Wayne Kabadi. Come back and check out the podcast next week. We're on a bit of a holiday break. If you're watching on YouTube, you saw our brand new introduction video. Thanks to John McCarthy and the team for putting that together. Hope everyone has a great holiday. Hope you have a happy new year. Stick to those resolutions and continue to celebrate small college basketball.